addition of two moment transfer. In a series, you are giving two moment transfer. Therefore, the first impulse we are giving tangentially at A, as it is shown here, another impulse at B, and then third impulse at C. So, in the first impulse, we bring it to an intermediate point which we have written as B, and another impulse at B, it brings it to the C, and finally at C impulse is given so that it gets reduced to the circular orbit at C, which is the desired orbit. So this is the requirement. So delta VA, then we worked out last time delta VA and delta VC. I feel that other people might have not joined, but everybody is there. And how many of you are there or not, I am not aware of. Okay, anyway, let us go ahead. So this equation 1 and 2 we worked out last time.
Yes.
Okay. So then one result from this place, what we can see that if RB tends to infinity, that means this distance goes to infinity. This point B, it goes to infinity. Means your transfer orbit is of infinite semi-major axis. In that case, your N star, which is being defined by this equation, if RB tends to infinity, this N star tends to infinity, but this quantity is always finite. So once we do this, so N star tends to infinity and insert here in these two equation 1 and 2. So equation gets reduced to equation 1 Bi 2 divided by, just we are dividing the numerator and denominator by N star. So this is 2 divided by 1 by N star plus 1 minus 1. Okay, N star tends to infinity, this term becomes 0 and we are left with only under root 2. So this is root 2 minus 1. Similarly, using this one, we can get delta Vc. So this is limiting. Delta Vi infinity and delta Vc also infinity, corresponding to limiting value, limiting B. Okay, similarly, N star tends to infinity here, this gives you root 2 minus 1. But here, because we have Vi divided by N under root, so accordingly this part is appearing here. So this we have named as equation 1a and this is as 2p, because this is coming from equation 1 and this one is coming from equation 2. Okay, so this was the limiting case for delta V and delta Vb. Now what we are looking for, that what will be the impulse required for the point B so that it goes to C. The point A and C already we have worked out. This point is your A. So here we have written this equation. So we are using the Discrete integral. This is the velocity at point B after the impulse is given at B. And this is before the impulse is given at B. So 2 mu by RB, this V by integral equation B equal to this particular expression we are using 2B by RB. So RB is this distance, this is your RB. 2 mu by RB minus mu by AT2. AT2 is this quantity, the semi-major axis of this the second transfer orbit, and AT1 is the semi-major axis of this orbit. Accordingly, you have the velocity at point B before impulse. It will correspond to this orbit, and after the impulse, it will correspond to this orbit. So just you need to subtract to get this delta B. Accordingly, we have written here the AT2 in this point, and here we have written AT1. And then we need to insert the value for AT1 and AT2. So AT2 is nothing but RB plus RF divided by 2, and AT1 is nothing but RB plus RI divided by 2. So this quantity then has been inserted here to make it look this way. And then mu by RB, I am taking it outside of the bracket. So this gets simplified in this format. RB comes here in this place. Here also the RB comes once we take it outside the bracket. And then rewriting mu by RB in this fashion to make it non-dimensional. So mu by RI divided by RB by RI. Same thing here in this place, and same thing for these two. So RB by RI, RF by RI, RB by RI. The same thing has been done here in this place. Okay, and then putting the corresponding symbols RB by RI, this gets reduced to this format. Mu by RI is nothing but mu by Ri under root is Vi, and then Rb by Ri is n star, so that comes as the n star under root. And here this is 2 minus Rb by Ri n star, and Rf by Ri is n, so the n comes here, and Rb by Ri again n star here. The same thing implemented here in this case. And then taking out Vi by Vn star, it's a common, so this comes here, and the quantities under the under root sign is remaining here. So till this point, we worked out. Here the limiting case for A and C, we have already got the result. For this case also the limiting case we will see, and thereafter we will proceed further. So this quantity, whatever we have got here, this is your delta V B is equal to Vi by n star under root. So what immediately we can see, let us do it completely. And we divide by n star in the numerator denominator. So this is n by n star plus 1 and minus so n star tends to infinity, this quantity goes to 0, this quantity goes to 0, and this quantity also goes to 0. So delta Vp, basically it's in the limiting case, this is written as 0. So that means delta Vp plus delta Va and delta Vc. This quantity is being contributed only by these two in the limiting cases.
Sir,
Hmm.
is there any physical significance for the limiting case, as in if that infinite orbit is it of any significance?
So this has no practical significance because anything that goes to infinity, say, and it's an elliptical orbit, the time period is 2 pi aq by mu under root. So it goes to infinity means this time period becomes infinity. And so it will never return back. Now practically this is what is happening. But here infinity may imply that it's a very large orbit.
Okay.
Okay, even say if this is n star is 100, and while you are dealing with the quantity 2 and 3 for n, so as compared to say the n is 2 and then n star is 100, so this is 0.02. So this quantity as compared to 1, this will be small, so the contribution due to this one will be small, but the time period then becomes very large, and it may not be of any use in that case. So we'll discuss this point. What is the importance of the dielectric orbit and when it can be used? Sometimes you may not be having enough fuel for the interplanetary mission. Okay, and then you want to do something, and if the dielectric transfer is at that point turns out to be uh, cheaper than the Human transfer, then you will go for the dielectric transfer, provided the time is not a worry. You can give an impulse and then forget, and after few years it will reach certain point, and from there again the maneuver will be done so that it will reach the final point where you are assuming it to be. In that case only it's a good. Otherwise, we have to further look into whether the dielectric will be good or the human will be good for what circumstances. So in that case, let me show you first the figure. Can you see the figure?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here in this figure, the dotted lines are for dielectric transfer and the solid line is only for the human transfer. And this delta P, whatever we are showing here, this has been computed using certain value of the initial orbit, which is, in this case, I have termed this as the grazing orbit. Grazing orbit means assume the Earth mass to be concentrated at the center and the Earth's surface is free. There is no swell or any other thing. So that in a radius of 6,400 kilometers, any satellite can continue. It can keep moving without any hindrance. So this is called grazing orbit. So this calculation is based on that grazing orbit. So why I am showing you this at first, this will give you idea of what the bielectric transfer and the Human transfer is. Here in this case, if you see on this axis, instead of this capital R, just assume this to be N. Okay. So on the x-axis, this is N, and R star is nothing but your N star. Okay. Over the period of time, I have changed the notation. So nowadays, I am using notation instead of R, I am using notation N. N also we take it for mean anomaly. So these are the problems I was using earlier R. But sometimes R is also used for the radius, so ultimately I removed it. Okay, so you can see that how the Human transfer, the impulse required is changing. As we give different value of n, means your outer radius, outer orbit radius, it changes. So initially n equal to 3. So for 3 you will get certain value, and thereafter it starts increasing. Okay, so for lesser value of n, obviously this is going to what delta V equal to, uh, as you take it down, so this is for n equal to 3, which is not shown here. So for n equal to 3, you are getting some 3 point something delta V required, kilometer per second. This is the impulse required. While the initial orbit we are assuming to be the grazing orbit. Means 6,400 into 3 is the final orbit radius. So as we increase the value of the n, so this starts increasing. And thereafter it reaches a maximum value in the Human transfer, and then finally it decreases. And what equation we have used? The simple one we derived last time for the Human transfer. I will repeat again all those things. In the bielectric transfer, we have to add all the three quantities delta VA, delta VB, and delta VC. Not in the limiting case. Limiting case is a different one, which is shown to be, say here I have not drawn the limiting one, which corresponds to infinity. Rather here I have worked out just the lowermost, this part. You can see this part, the lower dot, which corresponds to R star equal to here 55.58. Means your intermediate radius is so much large. So for that, Human transfer is coming here. But ultimately, again, you see that it's a crossing here in this one. So if intermediate radius is R star equal to 55.58 or N star equal to 55.58. So Human transfer, it turns out to be better than your, sorry, the Bialptic transfer is better than the Human transfer. Human transfer is the solid line. Okay,
Sir,
but,
sir, for this bielliptic transfer, the del V is del VA plus del VB plus del VC, right, in this figure?
all the three.
Okay, sir.
Okay, all the three. I will return back to your question again. So just I wanted to show you what is happening here. So that means once we do the limiting transfer, where the intermediate radius R star tends to infinity, so this will come below this. R star is equal to 55. This is so if you increase it further, so it will go to a limiting value. So, limiting value means it will lower down somewhat little bit more. And that you can just use the delta VA plus delta VC in the both cases. It was root 2 minus 1 times delta VI. Another case, root 2 minus 1 multiplied by VI divided by n under root. So using that, it can be plotted. So I just plotted it using the GNU plot. So here in this case, what is important that the Human transfer is cheaper till certain value of this n. So till what point it will be cheaper, it will be visible from this place. Where your bielliptic transfer curve, it is cutting the Human transfer curve. Okay. In all cases, you can see that rest other R equal to R star equal to 15.58. It is the uppermost curve here, this part. So obviously, this curve is lying above the Human transfer curve till certain value of n, or either here in this figure, it's a capital R. And after that, Human transfer curve, it becomes little ambiguous, which one will be better. So that needs to be tested further. We will discuss those issues later on. So here, what it's concluded that if in R star becomes infinity, so your bielliptic transfer curve, it will little bit it will come on this side. From this point, it will come to say it's coming to this point. So, and where it will cut the curve, Human transfer curve, this can be calculated, and this we will do it. So wherever the limiting curve curves it, the limiting bielliptic transfer curve, between that and some other range, which I will state later on, it's not clear which one is better. But generally, you will see that uh, Human transfer, it's a better below 11 point something, and after 11 point something, it needs to be tested. And beyond that, some 15 point or something, it's a bielliptic may be better. Okay, not definite. As you can see here, that if your n becomes large, so even the bielliptic transfer, it will saturate to certain value, and then your Human transfer will become better for very large value of R. So these things need to be worked out and properly planned if you are doing trajectory transfer. What to do? So this figure I will supply you. Let us go back and look into the problem we are working with. Okay, so in the case of bielliptic transfer limiting case, delta VA plus delta VC. This we have seen, this is given by root 2 minus 1 and VI plus VI by under root n root 2 minus 1. And for non-limiting case, we have to add all of them, and we have written the way that delta V, delta VC and delta VB, all of them are positive. Okay, negative quantity is not allowed here. So in this case, it will be given by Vi plus multiplied by 2n star Vi divided by this was delta Vc we have written as here we have to be careful where the n star is coming and where n is coming. So here this is n. So Pi divided by n star times, and you should not try to memorize all these things because these things are very easily workable. And plus Vb, so that we have written as Vi divided by, in this case here it's coming as n star under root. Okay, and this part actually Vb part can be simplified. We can do little more exercise. This is 2 is missing here. This is 2n star. On the previous page I might have missed it. Here this 2 is there, so this part 2 will appear here in this place. So this is 2. So this quantity is written here. So if you work with this and give different value to n and n star and then plot it. So just what you need to do that you fix n star to certain value and then vary n from certain value, say 1 to large value, and then see what the value is coming. N should not be equal to 1, it will be this because the initial and the final orbit will be different. You can always change it. So by changing you can check the value of how much delta V is required. And Vi is common to all of them. So this can be written in this way, delta V by Vi. Then this quantity, and this quantity. And this quantity you can simplify further as 2n plus 2n star minus 2n star divided by this gets reduced to 2n by n plus n star. And this will get reduced to 2n plus 2n star minus 2n, so this is 2 divided by 1 plus n. So basically it's a subtraction of these two quantities. So moment transfer, it's energy efficient transfer if and only if the intermediate or the transfer orbit that you are using is say intermediate to the initial and the final orbit. Otherwise not. Okay, once we have done this, now we can look into what will be the cutting point of the moment transfer orbit as I have shown in the previous figure. Moment transfer orbit and the Bielectric orbit. So it's a little bit mathematically lengthy. So I will skip some steps and leave it to you to work it out because unnecessary time I do not want to waste over just doing the mathematics. So there are two questions. When the human transfer will be most costliest? It's the costliest basically. So in that case, for the human transfer, when it is going to be the costliest? When it is going to be costly. So for that case, simply delta VA plus delta VB, we need to add this we have derived in the previous class, and this was VI divided by n under root. Okay. So this is your delta V. Delta V by VI. Let us write this as K. So when this is going to be costly, this can be derived by putting VA by n this to 0. So this will be the maximum. So whatever the solution comes, that gives you the maximum. Number of solution may turn up. So whatever the feasible solution is there, from there, we'll pick it up. So here the process is little long. So you can do it yourself this part. I do it to certain extent. We need to differentiate this. So each of them needs to be differentiated, then reorganized. How much time is remaining? Okay, it's already 12:52, so we'll do it next time. So ultimately, once you solve this, so this will yield you a polynomial of this formula. N cube minus 15 n square minus 9n minus 1 equal to 0. So a cubic polynomial, and this will give you three solutions. Where n1 will be equal to minus 0.148. So this is not a solution. N2 will be minus 0.4338. So this is also not a solution because negative. And N3 turns out to be 15.58176. And this corresponds to the maximum. So that means if you have n equal to 15.58176, the Hohmann transfer is going to be costliest at that point. So we'll continue in the and solution to this you can get in MATLAB. There is a root command, the roots of the polynomial. Then you have to give it in the matrix format 1 minus 15 minus 9 minus 1. So it will give you roots of this polynomial and it will be strict like this. So we stop here. If you have any question, you can ask me.
Sir,
Hmm.
sir, this expression n cube minus 15n square minus 9n minus 1 is the expression for dA by dN, right?
dA by dN equal to 0, we are solving it.
Yeah, no, no.
Hmm.
Just the left hand expression is the expression for dA by dN, right?
Right.
And yeah, sir. So this 15.58176 is the greatest root of this. Uh,
Polynomial.
yeah. So like uh, uh, if you have n greater than this, then